Lewis Hamilton surprisingly disclosed this official information. The 2022 Formula One season was a mixed bag for the Mercedes camp. The constructors' rankings are presently in third place, and Hamilton is no longer in the title contention. The British confidence also began to shake up for the first time that year. Despite this, Hamilton is ready to keep taking part in the sport in the future. Welcome back! In today's video, we will be talking about the official information disclosed by Lewis Hamilton. There has been much discussion about whether Lewis Hamilton will give up and leave the sport in 2022 because Mercedes is having a rough year. Lewis Hamilton, the most decorated driver in Formula One history, seems hungry and willing to continue competing for even longer, adding even more glory to his already outstanding resume. The most natural result right now seems to be a contract extension. Hamilton continues to compete at a very high level, working very hard to help the team, and is fully dedicated to getting Mercedes back to where it once was as a race-winning machine. Hamilton has frequently said that his drive to continue competing in sports is more significant than ever. Lewis Hamilton signed a contract extension at the start of the season to keep him in Formula One for the following 2 years. Lewis Hamilton, though, will continue to compete in the sport for a further 5 years, according to Toto Wolff, the head of Mercedes. Before leaving Formula One, in Wolff's opinion, Lewis Hamilton will win an 8th World Championship with the team. Although the Mercedes Drivers' World Championship was controversially taken away on the penultimate lap of the previous season, Wolff is confident that his driver will have another chance to surpass Michael Schumacher's 7 career championship victories. Wolff said, "I'm absolutely certain that Lewis can win the 8th world title with us. He's not going to go elsewhere, and if we can provide a car that is competitive and he can fight for wins, he's going to win more titles for him. Retirement is still far away, but he asked himself, am I still happy with my performances? And once he comes to the conclusion that he's not, he will be the first one to say that is it." According to Wolff, Hamilton, who's currently 37 years old, will reportedly compete in Formula One well into his 40s. Fernando Alonso, a former colleague and adversary of Hamilton's, has agreed to a multi-year contract with Aston Martin to allow him to race far into his 40s. Wolff thinks Alonso's long life influenced Hamilton's decision to continue competing in his 40s. Wolff continued, "I have no doubt that we'll be extending beyond 2023. The signs today can make sports people, if they are disciplined, go much longer than in the past. Look at Fernando Alonso, he's 41 and he's still a mega. So no doubt there are many years left in Lewis. If you look at where Fernando is at 41 years, he's still very much there. He's very competitive. Still, I think Lewis, with ultra-narrow focus on his Formula One racing, I think he can take it far." Wolff had no trouble sharing the specifics of his private talk with the Englishman during the Singapore Grand Prix. Wolff said, "The advantage is that we both live in Monaco, one close to the other, and last week we sat down to talk. He told me he had 5 more years ahead of him and asked me how I saw it. Over the years, we've grown up together and we are clear with each other. Lewis will be the first to tell me when he thinks he can't do it anymore. So, I have no doubt that whatever we agree on a contract extension, which is going to happen, that we are both always going to discuss very openly what does the future hold." Many things are propelling Hamilton forwards. Hamilton is essential to Mercedes' efforts to turn around a dismal start under the new technical regulations. He appears to be enjoying the task of being a true team leader and the responsibility that comes with it. He is conscious of how crucial his role is for Mercedes to create a way out for this setback. Then, there are the myriad diversity and inclusivity projects that Hamilton has prioritized in recent years, like the charity Ignite that he founded with Mercedes and his efforts to persuade all 10 Formula One team to sign up for a charter that the Hamilton Commission created. Hamilton said, "I still feel fresh, and still feel like I've got plenty of fuel left in the tank. I'm enjoying what I'm doing. I'm really proud and enjoying arriving every day working with this incredible group of people. I'm also enjoying working with the sport more than ever. We've got some great people leading the sport and having great conversations about the direction we're going as a sport. So, I'm enjoying it more than ever in that space." Hamilton has contributed significantly to the Mercedes team. Rather than crying and waiting for Mercedes to fix itself, which would have been a wrong decision, the child chose to calm down. Hamilton appeared and mainly sounded like a driver still committed to the cause while being extraordinarily disappointed and occasionally frustrated. He worked very hard and carried out the majority of the experimental work. Although his hard ethic had consistently gone unappreciated during his whole career, especially when Mercedes was the dominant force in Formula One, this was perhaps too easily missed. Future predictions have always been drawn to Hamilton. There was massive speculation that something was going on and that Hamilton might leave Formula One when his deal with Mercedes was set to expire in 2020. Negotiations continued getting put off amid the worst of the COVID-19 outbreak. After that, he only consented to a one-year extension ending in 2021. A few months later, Hamilton's 2-year deal was officially confirmed, ending speculation that he could retire. The rumors of the turbulent 2021-22 winter was once again the talk of the town following the incident in Abu Dhabi that cost Hamilton the race victory and a record 8 championships. The possibility of Hamilton's career ending suddenly was then considerably more likely. However, given what Toto Wolff recently disclosed, the F1 legend will likely continue to compete in the sport as a driver for many years to come. Hamilton has won at least one race every season since making his Formula 1 debut with McLaren in 2007, giving him 7 world championships. Hamilton is currently experiencing the longest winless streak of his Formula 1 career. Meanwhile, as a result of his Mercedes' difficulties this year competing with Red Bull and Ferrari at the very front, since the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix in December 2021, this streak has continued. Hamilton now holds the record for the most victories with 103, and he will attempt to break it in 2022 by winning a race in each of the most consecutive seasons. He and Michael Schumacher are tied on 15 seasons right now. Mercedes had an excellent opportunity to become competitive in Singapore due to the shape of the street circuit, but their performance there was once again underwhelming. They're shocked by their underwhelming performance in Singapore's marina-based street circuit. They had great expectations for their first victory of the current campaign, but their performance was the same as always. Despite George Russell's awful performance, Lewis Hamilton proved on Saturday and Sunday in Singapore that W3 could fight with Red Bull, Racing and Ferrari. The track steadily dried up on Saturday, making it difficult for Hamilton to drive out and take full advantage. As a result, the British team could not catch up to Red Bull and Ferrari. Despite team boss Toto Wolff emphasizing finding many positives and liking the speed of the W13 when it was freely flying, the pace demonstrated on Sunday's race could not eventually be converted into points. It was insufficient. Mercedes engineer Ellison explained what had happened, and after that, we were unconcerned about our pace as the weekend began. Although we anticipated a great race, things occasionally don't go according to plan. The team still doesn't understand why Mercedes is so far behind in critical categories like qualifying pace. Given everything that needs to be completed, 2023 might be a little bit soon for Mercedes to again be in contention for the championship. Hamilton will then need to stay in the sport for longer to reap the rewards of the current effort he and Mercedes are making. Who can be sure of his desires? But it appears very likely that he will go through with his goal to continue competing in the sport. Those who questioned Lewis Hamilton's motivations undoubtedly thought his career would finish sooner due to Mercedes' current challenges. In a cruel irony, it might even lengthen it. What do you think of Lewis Hamilton continuing to race in Formula 1 after turning 40? We will be back soon with another informative video. Until next time.